voice in this too. Fine, I say we keep looking. For now.
Hey everybody, you might have noticed that I've changed Book Talk into Nerdscape Odysseys, Geekscape Adventures in all forms. And the reason why I did this is I took a kind of a short clip of Farscape, the television show, the sci-fi show from the 90s, and I posted it on Instagram and Threads. And it actually got quite popular. It's got over 200 likes, almost 40 comments, which for someone who only has 91 Instagram followers and 353 Threads followers, that's quite a bit, especially since it hit thousands of viewers. So I decided, hey, if I already have people that follow me that like this kind of stuff, why not talk to them about it on YouTube? So what I'm doing today is I'm covering Farscape, the show that actually hit quite popular on my post on Instagram. And I'm on season 1, episode 17. So, here in this episode, they're sitting around a table and they're actually having a conversation about how Moira, the living ship, is pregnant and acting like a living pregnant woman, which she has mood swings from one pendulum shift to the other. She's doing things irrationally, like in the last episode, she blasted off into Starburst, leaving John Crichton behind, stranded on a planet. And basically, they're saying how frustrated they are and they want to abandon the ship and find their way home. They don't believe that they're going to ever do it with the living ship actually acting the way it's acting. It's actually putting them at risk, and they feel like it's going to get them captured and eventually killed. But unknowns to them, that Moira actually has one of her droids in there listening to the conversation, and she has the pilot communicate with them, stating that she doesn't want them to actually leave. She understands that her actions are putting them at risk, and that that's not her intention at all. And it actually gives another perspective to the crew members what Moira is actually doing is actually unintentional, and that she's basically having the same mood shifts that your average pregnant woman actually has. So that's the one thing I love about this show is it's very ingenious to actually have a ship that is truly living and can get pregnant, and the fact that the ship is acting like any living being that's pregnant, that it kind of acts irrationally. It acts its mood swings from one side of the pendulum to the other, and how it's putting these characters at risk, how they're reacting to at being at risk, and it gives a sense of believability after 16 episodes on how absolutely every single one of the characters on board are actually getting very, very sick of the ship putting them at risk, and how they think that inevitably this is actually going to end up getting them caught and potentially even killed. Now, one thing I love about this show, and I've only started watching it recently. I remember back in the 90s I wanted to watch it, but I'm not sure why I never did. But I've only started watching it recently, but it definitely gives that 90s sci-fi vibe, in which the action is very thrilling. The plot and the storyline is very creative and very unpredictable. But the one thing that I actually find is hilarious is with that 90s sci-fi vibe, you also get the 90s sci-fi romance vibe too. And what I mean by that is every single 90s sci-fi show, whether it's Star Trek The Next Generation, Babylon 5, anything that you might, Stargate, like anything you might watch from the 90s or early 2000s, one thing I found with them is when it comes to the romance sections, they kind of take a page from the Women's Network or the Harlequin romance novels, in which the romance scenes are very, very corny. But that's kind of what makes it enjoyable as well, because it can be humorous at times. So far in the show, in season one, through 16 episodes, we've had the main characters, John, Aaron, Kardar goes on, all of them to escape the peacekeepers and jump in the Moira, the ship, and kind of blast off and escape. They ran from the peacekeepers from a time. You got into Aaron's character story arc where she basically seen as a traitor because she helped the crew escape, and she kind of took the crew's side as she started to see how cruel the peacekeepers actually were, which is kind of a funny name to call them that, the peacekeepers, when they're actually not very peaceful at all. And they just kept running and running from the peacekeepers. And then Moira got pregnant and started doing irrational things. And basically, at one episode, she cut to protect her young. Or in her womb, she actually cut off all the air and started to make it extremely hot, trying to kill the people and the crew members, until the crew members were actually able to prove to her that they're not a danger to her young. So they're not actually a danger to the placenta in her womb. And it's and then at the last episode, John Crichton was getting very frustrated with the crew, decided to go out and take a little fly around to cool off. And while he was doing that, Moira actually went into an unintentional starburst and blasted off, and he was actually lost for months. And then when they found him on the planet, can't remember his name, the little green guy that ended up getting tortured by the peacekeepers, and is horribly traumatized by it. Well, he was actually seen as a god, and he's actually the one that saved him, which didn't do any favors for his already big head. And at that point, they blasted off into space again. Were able to escape that planet, and that's pretty much where I'm at now in the series. So if anyone is actually a fan in this series, comment below. Let me know what you think about it. Try not to spoil anything for me, because right now I'm actually enjoying the show quite a bit. But yeah, that's basically what made me want to talk to you guys today, was just to let you know that I did rebrand the YouTube channel. It's now called Nerdscape Odyssey, Geek Adventures in All Forms. And I figured the very first video that I should actually make in regarding to this rebrand is basically the show that gave me the idea in the first place, when I actually took a little 20-second clip of the show Farscape, posted it on Instagram, and asked if there were any fans. And man, the response was absolutely tremendous. I loved it. So hopefully I get that same response for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you hit like, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment on it down below. Let me know if you're a fan. Let me know what you think about the show. Try not to put any spoilers, because again, I'm on season 1. I'm currently about to watch episode 17. And as I'm watching these episodes, I'll keep making videos letting you know what I think about it, and I'll see you on the next one.